Hello, welcome to another episode of Wade's Workshop. This video is going to be a little different. It's not a woodworking video. The family and I took a vacation to Iceland and we did the ring road, and it's quite the adventure. So took a lot of pictures and videos, so I thought I'd share them with you. I hope you enjoy. Every year we try to beat the heat in Florida and go somewhere cool for a week, and this year we went to Iceland. So we landed in Keflavik and picked up our camper van that we're going to travel the ring road in, and we jumped on the road and headed up towards the Snuffleupagus Peninsula. I know I said that wrong. Our first day turned into quite an adventure. On our way up to the peninsula, this semi decided to run us off the road. Found this beautiful campground where another camper decided to back into our camper. So it wasn't all bad though. We found this beautiful trail, went for a nice hike, and really enjoyed it. It was quite nice. This time of the year, the sun doesn't set in Iceland, so this picture was taken at 10 p.m. The next morning, we headed over to the Snæfellsjökull National Park. Might have been a little closer to saying it right there. There were some really nice things to see there, including this lighthouse, which was pretty cool. And then we walked over to these lava formations, which was really cool, and the kids got to climb around on that a little bit. I came across this pallet, and I'm not really much of a pallet worker, but this one made me want to build something. Up the road a little ways, we came across a beach that had a bunch of seals on the rocks, so that was pretty neat to see. We then backtracked just a little bit, heading back to Reykjavik, because we found a church over there that we like to attend whenever we're over that way. It's a little Baptist church, and God's doing a lot of good things there, and they have quite the view out the back door of that church. If you find yourself in the area, definitely stop in. It's worth it. After church, we headed north and did a couple hikes along the way. This one was really scenic. We were told there was a waterfall there, but we never found it, so we then found this nice campground and had a mountain behind it, so we climbed it and saw some really beautiful sights. The next morning, we jumped back on the ring road and headed around, and on the way, we came across this volcano, which we were able to climb up to the top and walk the rim and see the volcano crater and a couple other craters close by, so it was pretty neat. Then we headed over to do some whitewater rafting. It was quite the adventure, but they never sent us the pictures they took, so I don't have any to post here. But hopefully they'll send them, and I'll post them on one of the social media pages so you can see them. Our guide did give us a really good tip on a good place to stay for the night, so we headed up towards the tip of this peninsula, and along the way we found some cool American Doritos. Those were pretty neat. But this campground was awesome. Had natural hot springs, really good view of the ocean, black sand beaches. Saw this couple taking their wedding photos, and so good place to stay. The next morning we headed over to Akuri, which definitely loves their hearts. I love the little traffic lights, and they had this real beautiful church there. Out front was this really nice Cadillac. I don't know what year it was, but it was in really good condition. If you know what year it is, post it in the comments. I'm curious. This campground had an incredible view, and we hiked up to find our first waterfall of the trip. Check out the view from the top of the hike. From there, we headed over to the Diamond Circle, where we came across one of the best waterfalls of the trip. Don't know if you can tell, but I very much like waterfalls, and that one made the trip worth it. The next morning, we continued our journey around the Diamond Circle and came across this hike through a lava formation, which was really cool. We went up through that circle there and down this trail all the way to this volcano, which of course we had to climb, and it was very steep, but quite a bit of fun. And that is where we parked, way over there. Up the road, we found the world's most secure water closet, which is the European way of saying the bathroom. But behind it was an excellent hike with some really nice views. Up up the road just a little bit, we came across the pseudo craters. These look like craters, but they say what happened is air got trapped in the lava and they blew a bubble and popped and left this crater. That's just kind of neat. This campground is one of the few times that the sun popped out and gave us some blue skies and amazing views. After a good night's sleep, we jumped back on the Diamond Road and headed south, where we came across this cliff here and had a really good view. And then we spotted the puffins, which were amazing. They are some pretty birds. After the puffins, we jumped back on the Diamond Circle and got a chance to snap this picture of a half blue sky, half cloudy, rainy day. And seemed like it stayed that way the rest of the trip. If you didn't have your volume turned up there for that clip, I recommend you go back and watch it again. It's amazing how loud the waterfall was, and it was way louder in person. We came across these geothermal fields next, and boy did they stink. The smell of rotten eggs was insane, but it's fun to go to.
Do you hear that bubbling?
You can see it right there.
Oh. No.
After a really long shower and a good night's sleep, it was time to head west, where we came across this suspension bridge, which is pretty neat. It's a single lane, so you gotta make sure that it's clear before you go across. And we saw some more waterfalls. There wasn't anything spectacular here on this little waterway, but I thought it was nice. And then I spotted this chair over here, and I wanted to sit in it, but the wife told me we didn't have time. I think we had time. She just didn't want me to sit in it. We then headed over to this little town, which was pretty cool. Had some neat buildings and some really good food, and this cruise ship that I think was stalking us. Then I found these planters, and I like them. The hexagon one here is my favorite, but I think I'm going to try to make all three. After that waterfall, we jumped back on the ring road and headed south. Along the way, we saw some really nice views. Saw a fish farm, which was pretty cool, and just enjoyed this drive. It was quite nice. We stayed in this little town for the night, which was a really nice little town. We didn't care for the campground too much, but found some pallets on the side of the road that made me want to build something, and got out for my first 5K in another country, so that was a lot of fun. Saw some really nice views along the way and found this park bench that I'd like to build. Then I spotted that cruise ship stalking me again. On the way back to the campground, I got a sudden urge to play some chopsticks. This park bench is back at the campground, and I really think I want to build that. After another shower and some breakfast, we hit the road again, and we ended up coming across this waterfall, which isn't on the map, but it was pretty cool. After that waterfall, we jumped back on the ring road and started heading east, and we drove over to Diamond Beach, which we've been to Iceland once before, and we went to Diamond Beach, and unfortunately, there were no diamonds on the beach, but that was not the case this time. Check out these pictures. If you have any conspiracy theory nuts in your family like I do, send them this video because I'm pretty sure I spotted the Loch Ness Monster hanging out in Iceland. After Diamond Beach, we jumped back on the road heading east and didn't do a lot of stops along the way. We visited the south side of the island the last time we were over here, and so we headed over to Seljellenfoss waterfall, which turned out to be one of the best stops of the trip. This little fall was my favorite. You had to climb through a little crevice to get to it, but the waterfall was amazing. This little campground was one of our favorites. Not sure what's up with the AstroTurf, but it had old power poles with isolators for borders around each of the campsites, and it had this really neat greenhouse next door with all these beautiful flowers growing in it. And then across the street, we walked over and got to play with some horses, which I don't know if we were supposed to pet them, but they wanted to be petted. So we decided we wanted to get one more hike in before we finished our trip. So we found this one about 10 minutes from the campground, and it was quite steep. The picture just showing how steep the mountain was. But we got some spectacular views, and it was a lot of fun. We all put a rock in the pile just to mark that we'd been there. After a good night's sleep, we headed over to Reykjavik for breakfast. Found out the hard way you're not supposed to drive on a road that's marked like this. These pedestrians weren't too happy. But we found this really good breakfast place. I had the caramel covered cinnamon roll, which was amazing. I definitely want to go back just for the breakfast. But then we headed over to the church and explored the church a little bit before finally having to head over to Keflavik to drop off the camper van. I hope you enjoyed this video. We had a great time on vacation over there and can't wait to go back again sometime. I know it's not my typical style video, but if you're a woodworker or would like to be, hit the subscribe button. I put out content regularly, and if you have any questions about the trip, would like to know where a certain thing was or how to get somewhere or where we stayed at each of the campgrounds, send me a message. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on X. Come on over, send some questions. Happy to answer them for you. Thanks for watching.